Excuse me. That feels good, doesn't it? It's so good I had to cough during the intro of that. Manchester City 3, Chelsea 1. Oh my God, we needed that. Oh my God, we really did need that. Today, the senior guys, the cooked guys, the washed guys that were apparently going to be run through, they stepped up. Absolutely stepped up. Guardiola got it right. He made vast changes that absolutely everyone moaned about, myself included, prior to the game. And Guardiola got it right. The players took responsibility, and it was a big performance full of quality, character, and no little skill, and an awful lot to like today. Like, so many things to talk about, so many good things to talk about. Who is man of the match? Please flood the comments with your idea for man of the match. I'll see who you guys even think. I don't even know where to start. You can make arguments for Bernardo, you can make arguments for Haaland, you can make arguments for Gvardiol, you could talk about Mamouche if you wanted to, Phil Foden, you could talk about Josko. I've mentioned him already. So many people. You could absolutely talk about multiple players today, and that is a rare treat for this Manchester City side. And we really needed that. To have this performance after the PSG game with new players in, and given the start that we had, this could have been catastrophic. This could have been a collapse of Manchester City today. But no, absolutely not. These guys looked each other in the eyes, and they stepped up big time. I need to talk very quickly about Bernardo Silva, by the way. Bernardo Silva has to be the first name I mention today, because that man has come under intense criticism over the past couple of months from an awful lot of Manchester City fans. And I've criticised the performance here and there, but I've always took a little bit of dislike to the idea that he was washed and not good enough anymore. I've been saying plenty of times on this channel that Guardiola loves Bernardo Silva for a reason, because he trusts him. And I've also been saying that Bernardo Silva hasn't really been playing football. He's been working. For a long time, Bernardo Silva's joy has been out of the game because he's been doing a shift while absolutely knackered. And can I just point out something that I know? A new father. I know how tiring it can be to be a new father. So he's a new father, 30 years old, not the oldest, but not young, while also going through this intense change in the team. And trying to balance his touch, his ability, while also being a workhorse. And today, Bernardo was absolutely immense. The young lad Kusanov, who we'll talk about in a bit, he had a really tough start to the game. And watching Bernardo Silva taking the responsibility, that's a fucking captain right there. Taking the responsibility to step back near the centre-back, to take the ball off him, to give him fist bumps every time we did anything right, to get the team going, to lead the team. Absolutely wonderful. I love to see that. And then when you add quality to it as well, he was so reliable. He knew that Kusanov needed him. He knew that his team needed him. He knew that Marmoush had to be shown what it means to be a Manchester City player. Phenomenal today. An absolute captain's performance. And the way that he took the armband off as well to put it on De Bruyne, remarkable, truly remarkable. You have to respect that today. And that is a reminder that class is absolutely permanent. And to me, that was the story of today. I saw experience shine through today. I saw leadership, I saw quality, I saw character, and I'm absolutely delighted. I'm delighted for Bernardo Silva, I'm delighted for Manchester City, a true Manchester City legend. And today, that is what leadership looks like, by the way. You take responsibility, you hold the young lad's hand where you can, and that's what we got. The goals, of course, as well, the goals we got today, we'll talk about them later. Josko, Gvardiol, Haaland, Foden. But the performance of me today was just one of composure. I talked an awful lot after that PSG game, that how I just didn't really recognise my Manchester City side, because we just weren't seeing City control the ball, I wanted to see more of it. I wanted to see City control the ball, play good football, and excel, I wanted to see us be Manchester City Football Club. And when you see, performance like this, that's sort of wrong shape there, isn't it? Well, let me just sort that out for you right now. I don't know what's going on there. But it's a little bit, what's going on here? Let me sort that out for you, get it on the screen properly. But when you see City actually keep the ball again and play good football, like that first half there, 64% possession, that is a Manchester City side. Guardiola made changes from the midfield of Kovacic, Silva and De Bruyne against PSG, and he went for Kovacic, Gundogan and Bernardo. And you don't have to like it, but there was a much more control today. They kept the ball. Gundogan is probably his best performance since he returned. Gundogan was impeccable today. He really, really was. Wonderful wonderful weight of passing, completed pretty much all of his passes. He was aggressive with the press as well. He truly was. He worked insanely hard. I love it, man. I genuinely love it. Super chat, by the way, from Brooks and from William Dittmer. Super chats are always appreciated. They keep this channel going. They keep me able to produce this content full time. Thank you so much, guys. William said, so proud of the boys for getting this massive win. Absolutely. It's a performance full of character and experience today. One that vindicated Guardiola's trust. One that vindicated the belief he has in these senior players. And he's right to say, get us out of the mess that you've got into. Don't know if he'll do it right now, but we're putting the top 4 today, and it's on the senior players. It absolutely is. William, thank you so much. Brooks saying, just one guess, Steve, about what the F Edison was saying to Kusanov. Maybe they were speaking Klingoff. Mate, no idea. I don't know. He probably was just, he said something. Kusanov probably went, yeah, Edison. I don't know. I have no idea, mate. He was speaking English, apparently. I don't know. Absolutely no idea. It's a mystery. But I loved it today. I truly loved it. Like, honestly, absolutely needed. Just needed. Really needed. It's one of those things where, like, for me, this performance is... it's deserved. City deserved the win today. Absolutely. By far the better side. They kept Chelsea so quiet in that second half. They really did. They were the better team. They were defensively solid. We kept the ball nicely. We had a threat going forward. It turns out, by the way, that the solution to everyone going man-to-man us is just get Marmoush near Haaland, Foden near Haaland, go long, watch these absolute wasps of players be nuisances. I'll talk about everyone individually because I think it's worth doing. I'll go from everyone. Now, I'll go backwards through the team. Haaland today, by the way. Haaland, absolutely wonderful. Haaland with a performance full of a Drogba-esque performance today. But everyone talks about, Haaland apparently only having the touch and technique of a League Two striker. That flick for the goal for Foden, just immense. The first touch with his left foot, the pass with his right foot around the corner. Brilliantly unselfish, a brilliant vision. And he's got that. He always shows that. Yeah, he's got it. A lovely touch and assist. And, of course, the goal. The little flick on. He chases his own pass. Look, Sanchez had a mare. But the finish is still... It's Aguero-esque. It reminds you of that so much. A beautiful finish. And a performance full of running. A performance full of desire. And the link-up play between him and Phil today and Marmoush is really, really encouraging. I'll go to Marmoush next. Look, I'm not going to say this was like an electric performance for Marmoush. But if you're not excited by Marmoush display, you're not paying attention. That guy deserves to be at this level. Marmoush today, that guy had runs. He had chances. He kept going. And, of course, he had an offside pass. But that guy knows how to sniff out a chance. He is hungry. His energy is electric. His movement is really good. He's sharp. He's going to score goals. And just putting the runners in behind, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Like, it was so exciting to watch Marmoush's movement. Foden getting in behind as well, scoring another beautiful goal. Great stuff. And then when you added that Guardiola, for whatever reason, had Núñez and Gvardiol just pushing up past the forwards. Oh, it was so much fun to watch. I'll go over to here. Like, at times, it looked like this, where you had Marmoush up there, Gvardiol making runs, Núñez making runs, and it was just sort of this... It was just brilliant. It was so chaotic. It was just like absolutely all over the place, It was a wild, aggressive attacking formation, but there were so many runners, and it was really good fun to watch. Gvardiol today, by the way, just an absolute Rolls Royce of a footballer. That's the Gvardiol that we all know and love. That guy is just a unicorn of a footballer, truly unique and a one-off. I agree with Guardiola, and I say agree with Guardiola. He hasn't said it, but the conclusion is that Guardiola thinks he's too talented and too technically brilliant to play just as a centre-back. I entirely agree. He's too technically good. By the way, I would ignore these stats and the scores. That is one thing I'll say to you, because, look, Bernardo Silva got a 7 today. That was an 8.5, 9 performance from Bernardo Silva today. These are just stats. Stats do not tell you the story of the game. They tell you a few incidents of the game, So I'd ignore the scores because they're not representative entirely of what the player did in the game. But yeah, Gvardiol today, I think he's too good to be just a centre-back. I think he's technically too excellent. Like, how many dribbles did he do today? The amount of times he just dribbled past people. It says dribbles attempted. There we go. I'm not sure if it's on screen, but look at that. 5 out of 5 dribbles today for Josko Gvardiol. That is not normal for your centre-back who plays left-back, who plays as a striker and as a left winger, as a midfielder at once. What a stupid footballer. He's too good to be out there. And while also, creating chances, getting forward. And he nearly scored a couple of brilliant goals as well. So good. Absolutely brilliant. Nunes, you guys know how I feel about Nunes, but this was his best performance today as a right back. I never wanted to be wrong more than anything. I still don't believe, he's a Manchester City level midfielder, but today at right back, that was really, really good. And I got no shame about being wrong, by the way. I want to be wrong. I would love to look like an idiot with Nunes. I will hold my hands up. I really would. I don't care. I want Man City to do well. I felt quite strongly about it. I still do. But that today was a performance. If you can make that every single week, if he can find that consistency, and that's what it's about with Nunes. He has talent, but I don't think he's smart enough. But that today was really good for Nunes. Defensively, he was good. He got forward really well. If I'm wrong, I still win. Exactly. I have no problems being wrong, because it means if I'm wrong and we've got a great right back, great. But that was his best performance as a right back, in my opinion, and he absolutely deserves the credit that he's getting today. Let's talk about Kusanov. I had a feeling he would have a bit of a mare at some point, even being honest. I tweeted about it jokingly before the game, but I'm going to say, do you know how much character it takes to still leave the pitch with your head held high after a disaster of a start like that? That speaks volumes about that young lad's will to win and that young lad's desire to improve. Once again, credit to Gundogan and Bernardo Silva in particular for stepping up to support him. I was a little bit disappointed with Akanji's decision not just to hoof it. I don't think Akanji did anything wrong as such, and I'm not blaming him. It's just maybe a different personality trait to say to Vincent Kompany or Ruben Diaz. For what it's worth, I think maybe someone like Stones or Laporte might have done something similar because it's not quite as assertive. I wanted him to be someone that he's not Akanji, and I'm going to blame him for that. I guess I felt Akanji or people around him, when you've got a 20-year-old lad who's had a couple of training sessions, doesn't speak English, making his debut, clearly nervous, you've got to hold his hand. You've got to do decisions for him if you can. And I felt Akanji could have cleared it, but he left it to him. He panicked, didn't know what to do. He made a mistake. It wasn't good. And then, of course, after that as well, he was still really nervous and made a mistake. But he ended the game really well. His final thing was when he pushed Nico Jackson off the ball. He got a shoulder barge. He also blocked a second goal as well. Really, really good. And ultimately, he left the pitch with his head held high. And I'm not just saying this to make you feel good, but there was he passes the ball really crisply. Very Vincent Kompany with how he passes the ball. He puts his foot through it nicely. It's not a gentle pass. He's got a real nice clean connection, and of course he has the physicality. He'll be fine. He'll be absolutely fine. There's a talent there. There's a footballer there, He'll be fine. And Akanji, by the way, did fine after that. I just felt he could have just did a little bit more. By the way, 600 people watching and 93 likes. Please do me a massive favour. Please give the video a like. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. It does help, Let's get up to 300 likes if we can do. At least to 150, And subscribe if you're new. I'm closing on 72,000. It would be massively appreciated. Share the video as well. It always does help. So, yeah, I liked it, man. Fernandinho would have been proud of Bernardo. Absolutely. Look, you can put a price on quality and all that kind of stuff. You can buy great players, but you can't put a price on that leadership. This is why Gvardiol loves Bernardo Silva. And you get the sense there. Every time Bernardo Silva opens his mouth, he knows what he's talking about. Bernardo Silva is an extremely dedicated, extremely smart footballer. That is absolutely crucial. Do not judge a player on 2 or 3 months. Judge a player on performances like today, what they do when they can. And Bernardo Silva never gives anything other than 100%. Yes, his touch may have been down a little bit. Yes, he's not creating much and he hasn't been at his very best. But as I've been saying for a long time, Bernardo Silva has not had much joy in his football. He's been working. He's been grinding. But when the joy comes back in this Manchester City side, watch what Bernardo Silva does. But he led from the front today. That is what makes a special footballer. Ederson, fine as well. Got an assist today, Ederson. Brilliant stuff. Ederson with assist next to his name. Great. And you're right. Most of the passes to Omar were overlooked. They're going to be. You don't get every pass. But Marmoush is clearly a nuisance. And I like that he was allowed to drift central. Billion%. I was really worried that Marmoush would be told to sort of stay wide. A 25-year-old Fernandinho, mate. We never had a 25 Fernandinho. We had a 28-year-old Fernandinho, then a 29. I think he was like 31 years old when Guardiola got him, and he was still brilliant. I'd take a 30-year-old Fernandinho right now, mate. I know what you're saying, though, but yeah. Oh, 28-year-old Fernandinho back, amazing. But yeah, Marmoush clearly has a wonderful movement and a desire. Once you get De Bruyne linking up with him and the players understanding his runs, look, football's a simple game. Get a good passer, get runners, get movement ahead of you, and you'll have chances if you have the hunger. When you've got the pace of Nunes, the pace of Haaland, the pace of Foden, the pace of Marmoush, the pace of Gvardiol getting in behind, the movement, intelligence, it's going to result in chances. It's going to result in chances. Absolutely. And I think as well, we saw Kovacic much better today. Much better than he was against PSG as well. Good today. And John Stone's coming on. I think Brooks, if you're in the chat, who was on the watch along, said he's like that Rolls Royce you rarely get to take out, but when you do, it feels so good. You keep it in the garage, and when you bring him on, it's just a luxury. I hope you get to use him a little bit more than that. But largely, you know, that quality is still there, the composure. I think Guardiola was bang on as well, by the way, to not take Kusanov out straight away. He gave him 10 minutes the second half on purpose just to show that faith. De Bruyne came on as well, was instantly a nuisance as always, but a mature display from Kevin De Bruyne. And this was a good performance, a deserved performance, and wonderful stuff. And as you look now, it's an important one as well, because Chelsea was the start of a very difficult run of games, and we're in the top 4 now. And we deserve to be there as well because we were the better side today. I felt we were going to win this. I've got the receipts to back it up. I think I replied. I was on Blue Sky or Twitter to ASAD. I can't remember, my mate, for the 9320 pod. I felt we were going to win, regardless of the PSG game. And yeah, we were good today. Nunes, someone mentioned in the chat. I said earlier on, like 5-10 minutes ago, that I thought Nunes was great today, and I've never wanted to be wrong more than anything. If he carries on like that and shows that consistency, he could be turned into a very good right back because that boy has an engine. That guy can get up and down the pitch. I look at his average position today. Nunes, look, there's his heat map. He gets up from down there, and if he can learn how to defend really well, you know. I don't think he's ever going to be a great one-on-one defender, Nunes. But there was a couple of times where, towards the end, where I think they played the ball in behind to Neto, and he matched him for pace near the end. And yeah, he was great. He matched him for pace, and he sort of just intercepted the ball. If you can do that stuff, wonderful. If you can be where he needs to be to try and win a header, wonderful. I'm not expecting him to be a Kyle Walker in a defensive duel, but I expect him to be better going forward than Kyle Walker. I expect him to be technically better than Kyle Walker. And he should be, because he is a midfielder and because he has more of a creativity to his game. So if he can offer a bit more going forward while also having the positional sense and the pace to get back, that could be enough to be a pretty decent right back. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, Marmoush was offside a lot today. I'm putting that down to eagerness and not understanding the runs of his teammates. Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be absolutely fine on that. But there's no denying once again that Marmoush has the quality, the inherent quality in his game. It'll be great. Yeah, and he dealt with it much better. That's a good point, Sean. Sean said in the chat, you know, that he dealt with the ball going behind him a lot better today, and he did. And maybe he'll learn. I don't know how good he'll go or whatever, but I'm very much delighted for him. Foden, by the way, that doesn't make any sense. Foden, he needed that goal. He absolutely needed that goal, and it's a big moment for him. A truly big moment. He really didn't know what to do. And here's a little stat for you as well. He didn't know what to do. He was looking around, looking for support. Had to take it, finished it beautifully. And here's a stat for you. Most goals in 2025, Phil Foden at the top there. 6 goals in 2025. He's very much back. And a big moment. And his form is looking better. His touch is looking better. He's looking involved. A couple of little dribbles as well, which was nice to see. I love a Phil Foden that dribbles, you know. Really, really good stuff. Yeah, I'm very excited. And Haaland, once again, I know I've talked about him at the start, but let's talk about Haaland again. Just so good, lads. So good today. Brilliant stuff. And we've got our man Marmoush. And we've got Kusanov. Wonderful. Guardiola's quotes after the game, by the way. I'll get to Guardiola's quotes. I love to talk about Guardiola's quotes. I think they're always fascinating. He said, we struggled lately, and it's been tough. A tough season. Most players have been here 8 or 9 years, and I'm not going to change my opinion in 2 months. Good on you, mate. We have to realise it's not enough what we're doing. I asked them to step up, and we did. We created enough to score, and in the end, I'm really pleased for the victory. Of course, we need fresh legs with Omar and Abdelkadir, and now we have a final Champions League game on Wednesday. I'm not going to change my opinion in 2 months, nor am I. Absolutely not. These players have deserved our respect, and they've deserved our love and trust. Just because they've had a bad spell doesn't make them bad footballers. Maybe some of these aren't the future. Maybe some of these will move on. But there is still quality footballers there. And Guardiola is right to point that out. On Kusanov, he said, it's not easy for him. He trains once, and then to play against Nico Jackson, Cole Palmer, Madueke, Sancho, it's a process when you buy a player this young. He'll learn. These kind of actions are the best lesson you can take. Bang on. Leave it in the lesson bank. That's all it needed to be. And I'm really buzzing, by the way. Lesson, that doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm getting at. Leave it as a memory. You leave to you. I'm tired. Leave it as a memory that you'll learn from. The thing I love today, by the way, about this is that the team really rallied around him. And that performance and that victory, that was important because it won't be remembered as the Kusanov game where he made a mistake. It'll be remembered as, a great performance that they absolutely deserve to win, 100%. Gvardiol's right to come out and defend him. He talks about Moosh. He said really good on his movement. That connects with other players, incredible movement. It's the first game and he deals with the change and makes unbelievable movements. He's going to be a star. Let me just quote tweet this. He's an absolute natural. I want to quote tweet it. Absolute natural. Fits this team like a glove. Reckon that spot's his. It is. I do think that spot is his. I think he's going to be. It's his in the long run. I think he's going to be a cracking footballer. I think Marmouche easily passes the eye test. And I'm very excited to see how he goes. This is, to me, is what the most important thing as well. Guardiola said, if we don't pass the ball, we're one of the worst teams. We need the ball to survive. 100%. Pass the ball. If you don't pass it, we are going to be screwed. And that's what I said against PSG. We were dominated on the ball, and it's not what Man City do. It's not at all. Nunes said it was a deserved 3 points. We have very mentally strong players, and I think we showed that today. Yeah, 100%, mate. Where we're at with the super chat as well. Sean, my mate, another one there. Thank you so much. Have I missed anything? Member chat as well from Sean, my pal Sean Kramer said, one of the most City performances in months. That's a great way of wording it. It felt like we had on Manchester City. That was our Manchester City, by the way. Defensively solid where it needed to be. Not at the start, but when it needed to be. And also composed, experienced, mature. And we played football nicely. Sean said we stayed out until 4 a.m. to watch in Taipei. Worth it. Cheers to all the Blues, mate. That is absolutely worth it. I hope you had a nice time and a few drinks, mate. Buzzing for you. Thank you so much, Sean. I'm sure you're having a wonderful time out there with the Blues over there. Big love, mate, my friend. Buzzing for you. Give the video a like, by the way, as well. It'd be massively appreciated. But yeah, I'm excited by Kusanov. Is the mic low? I'm sorry. I don't know if it's low because I set it high, and if it goes low, I'm sorry. What's going on here? Studio mode. I didn't realise the mic was low. I don't think I can turn it up now at this point in the video, but it automatically readjusts, and I don't know why it does it. I'm so sorry. I need to put a reminder to talk. There you go. That'll be better, won't it? There we go. To keep it louder. I wish I could change it afterwards in post. Yeah. But this was a good performance, a much-needed performance, and I'm very happy. Marmouche is a nuisance. Guardiola said about Kusanov as well. There's another quote here from Guardiola. He said about Kusanov, sorry. He said he doesn't speak English, so I didn't speak to him. He'll be fine. He only made 1-2 trainings. I didn't want to push John returning from injury with Wednesday's game. The players were together. That was massively important. Any player can make a mistake. The City fans always support the new players. He's young and he will learn. Yeah, the language thing is so hard, by the way. It's just be so hard, not being able to get involved and explain things. He'll have to have aggressive English lessons because he's going to need it. But I'm sure he'll learn the basics of football, like come, stay, cover the man or whatever. I don't know. My man on, my ball. I don't know. He'll learn it. But there's clearly a talent there, About transfers, I said I don't know. What I'd like is to have the main team at the start of the season back. Well, yeah, we'd all love Rodri back, mate, but that ain't going to happen, my friend. I think Cambiasso, by the way. I don't expect we'll go in for him. I'm tired, guys. I really am. So I might have to leave it there soon anyway. But this is a massive performance for City that we absolutely needed. I want to tell you, by the way, I'll be on live for my 5 Things Learned tomorrow, but I'll be on bigup.com, which is obviously where I do my watch alongs. So they've got an incredible new feature where I can literally show you the goals on screen and annotate them like Monday Night Football. I am not exaggerating. I promise you I'm not exaggerating. It's going to be that cool. It's going to be wonderful. Go and sign up to bigup.com/Esteemed Kompany. Sign up on there and you'll have the coolest thing tomorrow where I'll go live and I'll watch the goals with you and we'll talk about what happened in the movement. I can't wait for it. Give it a follow tomorrow. Love you all loads. You're all ace. Thank you for watching. City, that was the most City performance in a long time. I enjoyed it. make the most of it. Look, what's our fixtures coming up? I've totally forgotten because I'm waffling away. Oh yeah, Bruges, of course, on Wednesday. Arsenal away. We're going to need some performances there, man. We're going to need a steely performance. I think we might lose that, but I'm not worried about it. Newcastle, I fancy our chances. Liverpool at home. We could lose, but I don't think it's a given. I think we could get a draw there potentially. Spurs away. I think we'll beat them, actually. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Love you all loads, guys. In a bit. Bye-bye. Like the video. Marmouche is a star. Kusanov is good. Erling Haaland, legend. Josko Gvardiol, wonderful.